Welcome back to SaharaTV. We have Miss Nnena Okore on the phone. How are you doing today, Miss Nnena? Hello, Miss Nnena?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm fine, thank you. Can you please tell our viewers where are you calling us from today?
I'm speaking from Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, cool. So you're an artist, as the viewers should already know. What inspired you to start doing art?
Just a love for colors and forms and the love for creating and having people appreciate the things that I perceive that in life. I'm very attracted to taking the resources that we have around us and transforming them into more interesting things.
Okay, you said resources. Like, what resources do you use?
Well, when I talk about resources, I'm basically referring to everyday materials that lie around about our surroundings, like sticks, paper, wood, leaves, anything that I can lay my hands on, including man-made, materials and discards that I find around me. I like to use them in my art as a way of expressing ideas about life and about the processes that occur in life, be it aging or something getting, changing its form, all those kinds of things. I think I'm very enamored by.
Okay, of those materials, which one do you use the most, or which one do you like to use the most?
I think that well, more frequently you find in my work the use of paper and some other recyclable materials like plastic shopping bags. Also, sometimes I use natural materials like clay that I haven't found them, but I do get them from suppliers. But I'm very attracted to the earthy quality that they have.
Sounds interesting. As a child, did you dream of becoming an artist, or did you just pick that up as you grew up?
I was always fascinated by being an artist.
So, doing art, do you work from live photography or imagination?
It's largely from imagination. I don't work out of photographs, but I pick inspiration from real life things. Like when I work with nature, I dream and recall images of landscapes and trees and houses that I've seen. So it's not just imagination, they're actually of real things that I've encountered.
Okay, I see that you've traveled quite a bit, and actually, your work is being displayed right now in India. How is it different working in Nigeria opposed to other countries?
No, I don't have work in India. I have work in New York. But to answer your question, yes, it is. Being in Nigeria is very different because I have access to different kinds of materials that I wouldn't find necessarily in other countries. I have access to, the culture, the language, the people that give me the inspiration that I use to conceive my works. Over in the United States, for instance, it's very different. I'm so far away from home. I use a lot of my memory to try to recast some of the things that I want to say. So being here in Nigeria gives me a first-hand access to many cultural aspects of my heritage, which I think I really particularly enjoy being out here.
Wow, that leads to my next question, which was, do you think America like shape or change your African perspective?
Um, Not necessarily. I don't think it shaped or changed it. I just think that it gave me an opportunity to step away from it and see it from outside. And in that way, it allows me to be more, um, what's the word? Should I say objective in my thinking? So I'm severed from it emotionally, and so I really appreciate it even more. Excuse me. And I tend to be able to, perceive the things that really make sense. I'm able to sift out the things that I really want to say because I'm so far away from it. Like when I'm in the country or when I'm in the African continent, you are so drowned by a lot of sensibilities, cultural sensibilities, that it's sometimes hard to really pinpoint what you're trying to say. You're overwhelmed. But I think being out there allowed me to, sift out what I wanted to talk about and find deeper meaning of the cultural significance that I use.
Okay, cool. Being that you've traveled a lot, what country do you feel more welcome? Or what country do you think accept arts the most?
Or cover letters attached to an email.
That's a very difficult question to answer, given that, I mean, in the West, generally speaking, there is a lot more openness to what I would term experimental art. So you can really do a lot with your artworks. Being out of Nigeria, for instance. So many countries, in the West are more receptive of different kinds of genres of art. Whereas in Nigeria, I think we're beginning to open up to different kinds of explorations and use of materials and, perceiving the environment as a huge source of inspiration and concept. So it's increasingly becoming more acceptable to do a lot of different things with your art here. But I find, generally speaking, I think the United States has been one of the most welcoming environment and nurturing environment for my growth and progress.
Would you like your art to be like shown? Like, what's your dream country to have your art, like a montage of your art, like right there?
Nigeria, of course. Nigeria is my home country, and that's where I really want to make an impact. I think that it would be unfair for me to become known around the world and not known in my country. So if there's anywhere that I really want to leave a mark, it would be Nigeria.
So you're very patriotic, I would think.
To a large extent, yes.
I wanted to know, do you have family members who are in the art?
That's a good question. I don't really have older family members who are in the art. I could, say that my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, had some craft or creative skills in the line of craft. She knitted and sewed and made domestic objects around the house. But beyond that, I don't have any artists, any family member that is an artist. But my children, I think, are quite artistic or artistically inclined. So that's maybe there's a generation coming behind me.
So you have children. How many children do you have?
I have 4 children.
Oh, okay. What are their names?
Too much, I don't disclose it. I try to keep my kids out of the limelight.
All right. So what would you like to be remembered as, like through your art? What message are you trying to convey to people?
I would like people to always think of their environment as a place where they can be inspired. Think of the environment as a source of making and thinking about art. Oftentimes, as artists, we kind of believe that there's a particular line that we should follow and we should be addressing maybe political issues or cultural issues that relate to us socially. But I think that the environment is such a pronounced part of our lives, and it's time for people to really stop and look around and see what there is in the environment, use the resources we have in the environment, not necessarily orthodox materials like paint and metal and all those things, but use things that are right in front of us or under our noses. So I think I do hope that my works will inspire people to become more environmentally aware. I also hope that it would be inspiring to women who struggle, especially financially, to find their bearing as artists. When you look around and you see discarded objects or empty materials lying all over the place, those are actually materials that could yield great art. And so I'm hoping that my work speaks to people in that line and helps people realize that you have it all at your beck and call when you look around your surroundings.
I have to say that is very inspirational, and as an artist myself, like I would like to follow your footsteps. So for the viewers watching, where can they access your art?
I have a website, NnenaOkore.com, www.NnenaOkore.com, where you can view most of my works, not all, but most. And I also have some works in galleries. Two that come to mind are the October Gallery in London and the New York gallery called Contemporary African Art Gallery. Those are two places that represent me formally. So anyone who wants to see works that I've made can view them there. Otherwise, there are also other places where I show, but they are not permanent shows. They come and go, so they can see more about my activities and events on my website.
Okay, so I know that you're in Nigeria. How long are you there for? When are you coming back to the U.S.?
Yeah, I've been here already for close to 4.5 months.
Okay.
And I will be here for another 6 to 8 months. So perhaps within maybe by middle of next year, I should be thinking about returning.
Okay. Can't wait to see you here. I want to thank you for joining us today at SaharaTV. Thank you very much and have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Bye.